Most of us think our daily spending is logical. You check your account, you weigh the cost, and you make a decision. But the reality is, your brain is making these choices long before you actually reach for your wallet. It is reacting to hidden impulses you don't even know are there. Today, we are going to fix that. By the end of this video, you will have a step-by-step personal spending defense system, a specific set of rules designed to block these psychological traps before they drain your bank account. To do this right, you need to work along with me. Pause the video. Go grab last month's bank statement, a highlighter, a pen, and some physical cash. Let's get started. Spreadsheets fail when they ignore brain chemistry. Identifying these specific vulnerabilities allows us to build a system that accounts for your biology rather than just your math. Step 1 starts with how you physically buy things. Researchers at Carnegie Mellon scanned people's brains while they made different types of purchases, tracking exactly which neural pathways fired. The results showed handing over physical cash actively triggers the pain centers in your brain, the exact areas that react when you physically hurt yourself. But when you swipe a credit card, that pain response drops to near zero. You don't feel the money leaving. That lack of friction leads to dangerous spending. So here is the first rule of your defense system. For any non-essential purchase over $50, you have to use the 24-hour physical cash rule. Wait a day, go to an ATM, and hold the actual bills in your hand. By reintroducing physical friction into your transactions, you force your natural financial defense mechanism to wake up. When the transaction actually hurts, you evaluate the purchase properly. Next is a concept called anchoring. Retailers intentionally display a high, often completely fabricated original price right next to a discounted final price. Your brain locks onto that first high number, the anchor, judging everything else against it. It's designed to make you feel like you are winning. To bypass this, you will use the thumb test. Whenever you are shopping, whether online or in a store, physically cover the original price or the discount percentage with your thumb. Look only at the final dollar amount. Then ask yourself one simple mental checklist question. Would I still buy this product for this exact price if no other numbers existed? If the answer was no, you aren't buying the item, you're buying the discount. Beating this trap requires physically obscuring their engineered numbers so you can evaluate the object's true worth. Look at your social circle. Statistics show that 70% of people actively spend money they do not have simply to keep up with friends or family. Grab the bank statement and highlighter you pulled out earlier. Go line by line. I want you to mark every transaction from last month that was influenced by external pressure, a dinner you couldn't really afford, a brand name bought for appearances, or a trip for social media. Now add all of those highlighted numbers together. Write that total in big letters at the top of the page and officially label it your monthly ego cost. The hardest part to accept is the irony of this number. The peers you are trying to impress are very likely putting themselves into debt to do the exact same thing for you. Transforming abstract social pressure into a raw, calculated ego cost breaks the illusion. It turns a vague, uneasy feeling into a painful, actionable metric you can actually manage. You get a raise or buy a nicer car, and for a few weeks you're thrilled. Then it just becomes your normal life, and you want something else. This is the hedonic treadmill in action. This chart shows exactly how human adaptation works. The moment you acquire something new, your happiness spikes. But your brain is biologically wired to adapt to pleasure incredibly fast. That line inevitably drops right back to the baseline. To stop this drop, implement the savoring pause. Before any lifestyle upgrade, force yourself to write down 3 items you own that once felt like dream purchases. This act of intentional gratitude is the only proven biological break to slow down hedonic adaptation. It stops the endless cycle of chasing and allows you to actually enjoy what you already have. The final trap is the most critical. Research out of Princeton has proven that feeling financially stressed genuinely reduces your cognitive bandwidth. The stress literally takes up mental space you need to think clearly. This diagram illustrates the scarcity loop. Financial scarcity leads to reduced bandwidth, causing short-term thinking and poor decisions, like taking out a high-interest payday loan. That creates worse debt, generating more scarcity, and the cycle continues indefinitely. You break this by building an automated escape hatch. Pause the video one last time, open your banking app, and set up a small, recurring weekly transfer to a separate account. Your goal is a strict $500 emergency buffer. $500 is the specific threshold researchers identified to provide basic psychological relief. It creates the mental safety net required to stop short-term panic. That buffer acts as a vital circuit breaker. It disables your brain's panic response and restores your capacity for logical, long-term thinking. Look at what you have accomplished today. You now hold a quantified ego cost statement. You have a physical 24-hour cash rule, a thumb test strategy to evaluate real prices, and an automated buffer actively building in the background. The struggle for financial control is a defensive war against biological impulses. Today, you have built the first layer of that defense. Drop a comment down below and tell me which of these psychological traps, the pain of pain, anchoring, ego costs, hedonic adaptation, or the scarcity loop, was the most eye-opening for you. I read every single one. Next time, we are taking this a step further. I will show you exactly how to build a psychology-based budget to act as the next logical weapon in your new defense system. Subscribe so you don't miss it, and I'll see you then.